to Vibrant Womanhood.
I tell you what, we have had a great time thus far, have we not?
We
We
have
have had a really, really good time because we are what? Vibrant
Vibrant
Women.
Women. I am Dr. G, your success psychologist.
And I am Pastor Renee, and I am your Director of Transformation in your life. Pastor of Transformation, I think is what
Yes.
she's been calling me, y'all. Like the Pastor of Transformation.
Yes, she
We're
helps
going to
you
get you where you
transform.
need to be to get the help you need to be
Absolutely.
transformed into the beautiful individual
Woman.
that God created you to be.
Absolutely. And listen, stop right now. Ding, ding, ding. The bell is ringing. We need you to subscribe. And we need you to share, watch the podcast, subscribe, share, go to our Facebook group, Vibrant Womanhood. We have a community there. Guys, I'm telling you, we really have a lot of stuff going on in the community. And so we don't get to talk as much as we both can.
We have a lot of words.
So we do. So we do it in the community, and we help and we share and we interact, and we have a lot of great things going on. So join us over there.
Absolutely.
Didn't she look beautiful? Look, we both sparkling
Look,
because
we
you
are
know
ready.
what? It's the holidays. It's coming up. Look, Christmas is around the corner.
Well, you know what? I love Christmas. It is my absolute favorite holiday of the year.
Yes.
I love that we get to celebrate the birth of Christ. But
Yes.
I love that everything is just shiny and bright
I know.
and just over the top, exuberant and so extra. and so
So extra.
and so we're
No.
shining today.
Yes,
How about that?
look, we are look, don't be talking about me. I know I'm the Christmas tree. I know I'm here. But yeah, you know what? I love Christmas as well. But I think, in all of the shininess and all of the splendor, it's really gotten lost. The real reason for the season. And
Yes.
so, it's always so funny because you have to explain to your kids growing up is why you get gifts for Jesus' birthday. It ain't your
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you a funny story. So my kids, when they were little, attended a private school. And when they got a little bit older, they all started at 18 months, right? But when they
Okay.
started getting about 3 or 4.
18 months. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I believe in starting them early, right? Train them up in the way they should go, right?
Oh, wow.
And so when they started to get about 2 or 3, I would always get these phone calls like, can you remind your children not to tell everybody
There's no Santa Claus?
always that there's like, no Santa Claus. At 2 and 3, they were like, no, the reason for the season is all about the birth of Jesus.
Oh.
And there's no Santa Claus. And I would be like, okay, thank you. So I'd have to have these little conversations with
Oh,
these
my
little ones
goodness.
as they aged into their knowing. That's what I called it, aging into their knowing, that I would have to have these conversations about don't share everything about what you know.
Don't share what you believe.
Yeah.
Because my kids, look, let me tell you what I did. I told my children that everybody had their own personal Santa Claus. So I made
Okay,
it.
that's
I
good.
said, yours is brown and he drives a black truck. Okay? So
I imagine how that went when you went to the mall.
Well, yeah, so they understood that it is a Santa Claus, but it's your own personal one.
That's good, though. I
They
like
never
that.
figured it out. And
Oh.
so he would go, when they were supposed to be, it was the night before Christmas, all through
Mm-hmm.
the house, he would come and knock on the door and say, ho, 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 while the kids were in the bed. We knew they weren't asleep. And I'd be like, oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh, shh, you got to be, we did all of that
Aw.
to make just that magic. We
Yeah.
had the nativity scene there, too. We made
Yeah,
sure
we had
to
the
talk
nativity
about
scene, and then we had to tell the story,
Yeah,
and
yes.
and pray
But
and
it
all
was
of that.
it
Yeah.
was fun, and my youngest daughter believed until she was 10, and
Wow.
all the other kids got it. It was just the fun of it because,
Mm-hmm.
of course, when they would go to sleep, there would be some presents under the tree
Yeah.
already. But when they go to sleep, is when we bring out
Yeah.
the toys and
Yeah.
all of the fun stuff
Yeah.
that their Santa Claus dropped off.
Aw.
So it was
That's
cool.
exciting. My
Yeah.
kids got gifts, and so I think probably in their little minds they were like, "It's what? Like, how
Why
did
are
they
we
get
getting-
here?"
yeah,
And I would just
okay.
always say it was a blessing. So I don't think they ever really knew until they really got older. But
But no.
my mom told me one time, she's like, "You're the only person I know, and you just were until." You were too old to believed in everything we told you. And you're depriving your children of that moment. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they're fine. They learn to give to others. I'm naturally a giver, so I always want to bless others.
Yeah.
And then one holiday year, we actually ended up spending the hospital in, I mean, spending, let me start over. One holiday that we actually ended up spending our Christmas in the hospital.
Oh,
We
wow.
had gone skiing and did not know that my baby boy had totally dehydrated because of the altitude and the
Oh,
climate we were
yes.
in.
Yeah.
And it was the most horrific thing. I sat there in that hospital with so many of the other mothers and
Yes. Yeah.
fathers that really were going through extreme challenges. Just watching them and to see people come and to give gifts and to bring dinners, like it made such a big
Wow.
difference in my life to be a mother that had to spend that time in the
In the
hospital
hospital.
on Christmas while still having other
Yeah.
children. But I had to trust my village around me to make certain that my children were taken care of while I was there in the
Yeah.
hospital. And so for a number of years after that, I always took my kids into the hospital to give back to others. So it's so many exciting lessons that you can
Yes,
learn
it is.
just from things happening in life and just from just the joy of the season. And when you were talking about getting back to the real meaning, I think because we often don't think about that and it's become so commercialized
Oh my
that
goodness.
we forget that during the seasons of the holidays that a lot of people are really struggling, that they're having
Oh
a
my
really difficult
goodness.
time.
People really are. There's, and as you mentioned about your son, the things that happened during the holiday, my middle daughter, she was in the hospital for several days. And our prayer was that she would come home and that was our Christmas gift.
Hmm.
And so she did. They released her the day before.
Wow.
So she was able to come home and be home for
Yeah.
Christmas. So I'm like, listen, the
Hmm.
lesson there was teaching them that
Hmm.
your gifts aren't always these presents to
Yeah.
unwrap,
Yeah.
but it's the fact that now she's at home, so she
Hmm.
has become our gift. And so that is that's so important. But as you
Hmm.
mentioned, the holiday time is a time when people get depressed. There's a whole lot happening. And you think it's supposed to be this sparkly, festive, wonderful, bright, shiny lights, all of the food,
Yeah.
all of the joy that is
Yeah.
supposed to be around it. And
Hmm.
that doesn't happen for a lot of people.
Hmm.
And so we do want to talk about it, but in a way that on our last episode,
Yeah.
you told your story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just a lot.
Hmm.
And so as we kind of carry that through, and you talked about creating a new normal,
Right.
but you just said Christmas was your favorite time.
Hmm.
So now how did you create a new normal for your children, this being a magical, wonderful time?
Hmm.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. Again, for those of you that heard a bit of my story, I basically talked about how my world was turned upside down. And as a result of it being turned upside down, experiencing divorce, becoming a single mom, not having access to child support or alimony. And I sat there and I realized I could not waste anything. Like everything needed to be allocated because of where I was in my life to something. But I also knew that God had put that creativity in me to be able to still find the joy in the celebration of these traditions that we um, come upon through our holiday seasons, to be able to really recreate something very, very special. And so for us, I let my kids help. So I know all of y'all have probably done this, but we really hadn't done that whole matching pajama thing,
Oh,
kind of like,
yeah, the
I,
onesies.
yeah, the little onesies and everything. And so I allowed them to kind of craft and create while still decorating the house, just what was special to them. And that's kind of what morphed out of ours. So now every year we have to take the pictures in the pajamas. They're always
Okay,
holding
okay.
me. But, you know, one thing for me that was challenging is that I had to, okay, so I love Christmas. And when I
Uh-huh.
started out as a kid with Christmas, I actually did all the decorating in my mom's house.
Okay.
But we
Okay.
crafted a lot of the ornaments and things. So over the years, I kind of got into, I like the shiny things that you buy in the store. So don't touch that tree. You can decorate that tree, but you can't
Okay,
decorate the
decorate
rest
this
of the
tree.
house.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I found was that I actually had to um, keep my kids focused in a way that allowed them to become a part of what I had taken away from them because I wanted everything kind of really, really nice, right? And so now I have the generations that they all have their jobs. So, the boys bring in all of the items. My daughter, she decorates and helps now. And so we kind of had to change that. Like we integrated them helping with dinner. So those are little things that you can do to, just kind of create a special space. Maybe you want to go to a midnight movie before,
Yeah.
Christmas, can continue to go to church. These are all things that we just integrated and it actually worked.
Well, ours was so different once because we had created all these traditions. And then when our family broke and we had the divorce, it was like I didn't know in the beginning how to recreate this traditional Christmas because
Yeah.
Christmas was such a magical time for us growing up.
Mm-hmm.
We always spent it at my grandmother's house. All of her children and the
Yeah.
grandchildren and everybody would come in. We would have a play every year. We would have all these things. We'd
So the
have
family
a
would have a
party.
play?
The family
The
would
family,
have
I could
the
see
fam-
that.
the family would
Everybody's
have a
singing their
play,
parts.
and everybody was
Wow.
doing things, and they would have all the friends and people over, and so it was always this magical time. Then we all spend the night sleeping on floors wherever, and you're all together as a
Yeah.
family. And we
Yeah.
passed that on as we were married and integrated our kids into it. And then, of course, when you stop traveling because you got too many gifts and you want to
Yeah.
create your own
Right.
tradition.
Yeah.
So we created our own tradition, gingerbread houses, doing all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were
Yeah.
divorced. And so all of a sudden, here I was by myself.
Mm.
And then, going through the financial struggles and the financial devastation that I
Right.
was
Yeah.
left
That
in.
part. Yeah.
And so we couldn't have all of these presents and we didn't have all this money for all this stuff. And then trying to stick to the traditions. And I'm saying this because I know some of you out there, you're struggling with this thing and you don't have the money, you
Yeah.
don't have the funds, and you can't do this. You're creating this new normal. And so it was difficult because, we went from having all of these presents and all these things to shopping at Five Below and just getting one
Getting
thing for
something
everybody.
special.
And so, but how do you create that joy? Then it really goes back to what is the real meaning for Christmas? What is this really supposed to be about? So one year, like we just decided all we were going to make coupons and we were going to give them to the family. So whatever your gift was, you were gifting that. So one of my daughters is a designer. So she
Oh,
was
I like that. That's
well, I'm going to make you your own personal whatever.
okay. Oh, that's
And
really
another
good.
daughter, she's an artist. So she's going to, draw or paint you something. So everybody had to really be thoughtful and give somebody something that is going to be meaningful instead of buying another candle. I love candles, people. Trust me, love them.
Yeah.
However, all of the stuff that we buy just to say we bought
Yeah.
somebody a
Yeah.
gift and we can't afford it half the time, but then
Right.
the people don't want it and they end up regifting it.
Right, I know, but I think the key to it, and what I learned in going through my ordeal, and I just heard you speak to it as well. It's about the togetherness. It's
Yes,
about the
yes.
unity. It's about the cohesiveness
Yes.
that you can bring together for your family.
Yes.
For everyone to, have their spirits uplifted in a way. When we ended up going through and we had to cut back, my kids kind of lost the excitement about getting up early in the morning because it wasn't
Yeah,
going to be a
yeah.
whole lot under the tree, right?
Yeah.
And so they wanted to sleep a little bit later. And I was like, let's just find a time. It might not be 7 a.m. any
Yeah.
longer. It's definitely not going to be 1,
it's
right?
10, 11 o'clock because
Yeah.
they just want to sleep.
But let's just find some
Yeah,
time in
yeah.
there. So what I learned to do was to go ahead and to awaken. And while I wanted them all to run down, I would just go in and I would start Christmas dinner early, and the aroma
Of
and the
the
smells of the
smells. Yeah,
season
yeah.
would eventually awaken them, and they'd come down mid morning, and then we would go ahead and have our time, and then then everybody was ready to get dressed and to help prepare. So there's nothing. That's out of scope.
Yeah.
If you sit down as a family unit and you're together, but be creative. Find those special moments.
Absolutely.
Find things that even as kids get older, things change. They may want to go visit, their other,
Yeah,
if you've got any
friend,
married kids
yeah.
or friends. Sometimes
yeah.
they want to go to their friend's house, which
Yeah.
is fine. but you have to have that liberality to find what works for you and be
Yeah.
comfortable with it while still keeping the main thing. You know, I have sisters now that are older and they don't travel quite as much, and it's been really hard because I'm so accustomed to them being around and being a
Yeah.
part of our holiday celebrations. So you may have to make adjustments, or newly married, or I have a son that's a football coach, so a lot of times we do things around what the football schedule is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever it is, you can find that ability to be creative. Most of all, though, we just want you to, make certain that you're in a place where you can just find the joy. I think that's the
Yeah.
key.
Yeah. It
Whether
is.
you have a little or a lot, because I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people that have a lot, they're miserable, right?
Well, because the lot doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
anything, and I got to the place that because money, it was challenging.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want anything. I
Mm-hmm.
told the kids, "Don't buy me
Yeah,
anything." I
yeah.
got
Don't put
used
yourself in
to.
that pressure.
It's okay for
Mm-hmm.
them to make me something
Mm-hmm.
was great, and
Mm-hmm.
then when they could get a little bit and have, so I got used to not having a gift under the tree when I grew up having 15. And so
Mm-hmm.
that was really a challenge for me because we all like presents now. Don't get it twisted. However, I
Yeah.
knew that so much of the holidays and the
Mm-hmm.
stress and the depression and the pressure that comes, it comes from people wanting to buy and feeling like that they don't have enough money to buy either for their
Mm-hmm.
children, for
Yeah.
other people that are meaningful.
Yeah.
So I always try to advocate
Mm-hmm.
how to take off some of the stress.
Oh,
Take off
absolutely.
some of the
Yeah.
stress
Yeah.
and the pressure
Mm-hmm.
that you see with all of the stuff and all of the Black
Mm-hmm.
Fridays and now Black Mondays and Black
Oh,
Tuesdays and
it's
Wednesdays.
crazy. It's
The pressure to
overwhelming,
buy,
and
yes.
people will take their last and extend their credit
They will.
to
They
be
will.
able to provide something that kids often will only give attention to for a
Yes.
few moments or a few hours or for the
Yeah.
day, right? And we have to be responsible and mature enough to say, you know what, we're not going to put our family
At
in that
risk.
position
Yes.
at risk. I
Go in the
like
hole.
that. Yeah, go in the hole.
Yeah.
But what can we do? We can bake cookies together. You talked about building gingerbread
Oh
houses,
yes, we still
and
do
we used to
that.
do that every year.
Yeah.
We'd have a competition.
Yeah,
Everything's a
us too. A
competition.
competition. We did
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
And so it's what you can imagine and
Yes.
create to bring those special memories, because at the end of the day, it's really the memories
It's the
that are
memories that you
lasting.
are, and even this is an idea for you guys as well. Just pull names so you don't feel like you have to
Mm-hmm.
buy everybody a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Pull names. You can have Secret Santa,
Mm-hmm.
and buy that person something.
Mm-hmm.
Now our extended family, cousins, aunts.
Mm-hmm.
We try to get together at
Oh, that's
Christmas,
good.
and
Yeah.
so what we do is we pull names,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody knows, but you have to buy that person a gift with the that starts with the first letter of their name.
Oh gosh,
So yeah, it just
I
puts
can
more
imagine what I'd get.
puts
Like,
more thought into it. So, what are you gonna buy somebody? Mine is Lawana, the L.
I
So you're
know.
buying somebody something that you're
Let's
like that
see.
starts with the L. That's thoughtful. So that puts a
Mm-hmm.
different spin on it. So
It really
now it's
does. I
not
like
like you're
that.
going out and saying, well, what do I get them? Because you don't know what your uncle that's 90 years old wants
Mm-hmm.
or needs. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But if you're buying something with the letter O, and it's
Okay.
like, so it just, it's so many different ways to create fun
Mm-hmm.
and to create joy
Yeah.
and these
Yeah. And
memories and the
togetherness. The
togetherness.
togetherness is so
Yeah.
key. Yeah.
So we each wanted to kind of give you guys some tips to just kind of get through the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So because people are depressed, and if
Yeah.
you are having that, please go to our
Mm-hmm.
website. We would love to help you, have one-on-ones with you, whatever that means, to help you get through this season.
Yes.
But why don't
Yeah,
you
you'll
share your?
find that in our resources
Yeah,
where we
find it
can
on our
offer you the
resources
different
page. Yeah,
opportunities to really work with either one of us or both
yeah,
of us.
yeah.
And it's really important. But I think for me, going into the holiday season, I'd like to share with individuals, number one, focus on the main thing. The main thing is about the joy of our Savior being born. Maybe you've never heard the story, pick up a Bible, pick up a book. You can really learn. You can. I like studying too. So that's one way. That's the real reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is that you can you can identify um, opportunities to be able to give to others, to be able to be a blessing. There's so many people that are in need. You always can probably serve someplace. I like service opportunities
Yes,
because it
yes.
pulls you up out of your stupor and your depression and
Absolutely.
your being down.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can give to somebody else, I think that's really important. And then I think the other thing would be is that just choose not to take on all the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you know that something is going to put you in the hole, you might need
Yeah.
to have a conversation at this juncture. I can remember as a single mom having to tell my kids, we're not going to be able to have that
Yeah.
this year under the tree. What else would you like to have? Of course, added with that was because it's Jesus' birthday, right? But on your
Yeah.
birthday, you can get what you want. But I did always have that conversation. And it was hard. It wasn't easy. And I know they were often disappointed. But just the fact that I did not want to put myself in that position and take on another burden, if you will,
Yeah.
because that burden can cause you to eventually spiral out of control, go deeper into that depression, because now you've engaged in something that really is not. It should be joyful, but it's weighty because
Mm-hmm.
it just wasn't within your means. And so those are just a few things I'd like to share with people during the holidays. And then just go have fun. I mean,
Yeah.
find some friends. We have a lot of single viewers as well. And I'm a single mama, and you're a single mama. Find some
Look,
friends.
they on now. Look, just a single woman. How about that?
Well, look, our kids
Look,
are grown
how
up and
about
we
that?
grown now.
How
How about
about that?
that? Look, we're single grown women,
Look, I
right?
don't have to take
Okay.
care of
So
nobody.
so now we can have fun with friends.
Yeah.
I want to throw something out there. Just stay with me for a second, because this happens in real life. So when I got divorced, my friend people group shifted.
Of
I was
course.
not expecting that. I don't know why I
Oh,
wasn't
I
expecting
don't
that,
know
but
what you were
I
either,
don't know why, but
girl.
I really, and I was down. I was down for a bit during the holiday seasons because I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I got my kids and we're all connected. But as they got older and they started spending Christmas with me and other family members, but then they would go out and spend time with their friends, I
And
realized
you didn't have your
I have to expand my friend group, right? And so it's okay for you to give yourself permission to expand your group.
Yeah,
Find
yeah.
what you need, have fun, and just make it a joyous occasion. And then church is always a great option. Matter of fact, I flip it, I put that at number one. But being a part of a church family where you can participate in the services and the activities and the outreaches is really amazing.
Okay, thank you for your six
I
tips.
know. I always give more. I'm kind of that extra.
No,
You know that, right?
I know it's just so
She's like, give me
it's
three.
so
I'm going to give her
wonderful.
double. Girl,
It's so
double.
wonderful. No,
I'm done.
that's good. No, that's good. That's good. I wanted to say the first one, we kind of already talked about it, is goes along with the spending, because then you're going to really be depressed in January because when you overspent, just set a budget. Set a budget for your kids. Set a budget of, it could be $20, it could be $30, something that you really can afford, because again, we're teaching them
Yeah.
the wrong thing. When you teach your kids that they can get whatever they want for Christmas, we used to tell our kids they only get to name three things, and they may not get them all.
Yeah.
But what are your top three things? What that does is it helps them to prioritize. It helps them to put, what do I really really want
Yeah.
to spend the money on, whatever. They don't know what our budget was, but setting a budget is going to be very, very helpful. We've already given some other pointers on some other things you could do so that you don't overspend. I concur with the whole volunteer. When you put yourself out into somebody else's shoes, it helps you to see the world differently, and it helps you to know that you really are blessed compared to somebody
Right.
else.
Yeah.
So it helps you to really focus not on yourself, but the gratitude, to count your blessings
Yes.
on what you do have. So I always tell people, focus on what you have and not what you don't. That is so important.
That's good.
Focus on what you have and not what you don't. If you keep that focus there, and that was real important for me, because like I said, we would only maybe, spend $5 or whatever, at the dollar store, but I was looking around and saying, I have a roof over my head. I have this, I have that. And now all of the other things just seem minimal and it doesn't matter. So focus on what you have. And then, look, I'm going to tell you, these holiday blues, refuse the blues. That's the new terminology.
Refuse
Refuse
the
the
blues. I
blues.
like that.
So, how does that work, Dr. G? You say, I'm telling you, so much is about what you think up here. We talked about thoughts and stuff before.
Right.
You shared about thoughts and about bringing thoughts captive and all of the things that we talk about. And so a lot of times people already automatically know they're going to be triggered during this time of the
Right.
year, so they already get amped up. Oh, I don't want
Yeah.
Christmas. You know, this whole thing about
Yeah.
Scrooge, there's some people that we all can name Scrooge, and you just
Yeah.
a Scrooge. And
Yeah.
so we feel like that, it's important that you understand how powerful your mind is. So you're going to tell yourself that I refuse to have the holiday blues, because we have given some tips and pointers that
Yes.
will help to pivot you
Absolutely.
from being in this space. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to miss somebody that you've lost during this time. And this may be your first Christmas that you
Yeah.
are without a loved one. That is going to be difficult. Allow yourself to feel through that kind of thing,
Right.
and to celebrate. I tell people then to focus on the life and the memories that they
Yeah.
left,
Yeah.
and not on the fact that they're not there.
Right.
Again, focus on what you have
Yeah.
and not what you don't.
Yeah.
So you focus on the memories that they left you, but you feel those feelings. But everything else that brings around the blue, refuse the blues.
I'm
So
refusing the
yeah,
blues. No matter
yeah.
what happens, I'm done.
No
Over.
matter what.
No,
And
I'm
look,
not
if
going there.
if you can't put up your 3 Christmas trees, you're gonna be okay.
You know what? We're laughing, but I had to process that.
I know.
I had to process
I
that.
know. I know.
I was like, it's really okay.
It's okay.
I get the benefit of enjoying it with someone else.
Yes,
Or I
absolutely.
get the opportunity just to, because there are beautiful displays and arrays and places that you can
You
go
can
in
go and
all the
enjoy all
cities
of
and
that.
enjoy
Absolutely.
all of the beautiful array of lights and
Yes,
trees
yes.
and yes, I think I'll be doing that this year. I think
Yes, going and looking at everybody
yeah,
else's
yeah. But
trees.
I was
There's
having
so
a
many of
moment. I
them.
felt like I'd let somebody down.
Because if you think about it, now that your kids are gone, it just became something that they were used to. It's not like they come over and go, "Oh, Mama, this is so gorgeous."
But it's
And who else are you having coming over to your house to see your stuff? So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Unless you're
yeah.
having a big Christmas party
Be
where
realistic with
it's like,
yourself.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like, you know what? A lot of people I know, like a lot of single friends and stuff, they don't even put up a tree. They don't put up a
See,
tree
I can't
anymore because
imagine.
their kids are
I'm so
gone.
Christmassy
Yeah.
that I'm gonna have to put something up. It might just be a little bow.
Look, we got some little trees. I meant to bring my little tree and
Oh
sit it
my
up here for
goodness.
you.
But you know what? But
Yeah.
but it's okay.
It
Find
is. It
find
is
what works
okay.
for you. Find what I hear you say is find what lifts the heaviness.
Absolutely.
Allow yourself to go
Absolutely.
through what you're
Yeah.
feeling. We don't want you to deny what you're feeling. We just don't want you to stay in
Don't
it. We
stay
want
in
you
it.
to be able to lift up yourself by making the
Yes.
right choice to do something different.
Different with your life and creating your new
Yeah.
normal. This is great. I'm excited. I'm not even sure exactly what, but we are always planning something different and something new. I have one friend that they don't cook Christmas dinner because it's right after Thanksgiving. They
Yeah, a lot of
do they
people are
do
doing
Christmas
unique
brunch.
foods. Yeah.
They do
That's
brunch,
good.
or my one of my sisters, they fix ribeye steaks instead of or
Well,
fish
do
and
you
chip.
do pizza?
It's
Do
just
look Asian, whatever
do
you want to
something
do. Yeah,
different.
just enjoy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you don't feel like all of this pressure for this big dinners and we don't have a lot. You can just make. You know what? The power of your life lies within you. You're in the driver's seat of your own
you
life.
are.
So we just want to encourage you during this time,
Yeah,
and we're gonna wish you the merriest of
yeah.
Christmas. You have any
Just make
closing part?
merry memories
Yeah,
and feel good about it.
yeah,
I think we're in a culture and a climate right now where people just need to feel good.
yeah,
And if you putting on your onesies and you getting in front of the TV and watching Christmas movies makes you feel good, then be okay with that.
yeah.
Joining in with all the wonderful churches and
Everybody celebrating. Yeah,
outreaches that are offering just these incredible opportunities for people to be blessed so you can get out of yourself. Just
Yeah,
just do it. But in closing, I just want to say that, you know, we had to create our new normals
we did.
and we came through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're joyous. Now we're going to close by singing Joy to the World.
And she's going to sing. I'm going to clap.
We're closing by singing Joy to the World, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare the room, and heaven and earth.
Oh, wait, wait. We having a lyric issue.
You know what?
She can sing it. When
I've
she starts
never,
singing
I've never just said the words. I'm always singing it.
I know. Go ahead,
So,
sing.
no,
Go
I'm
ahead.
not getting ready to sing.
One,
But
two.
but we are gonna say to wish you a Merry Christmas, because I would be singing a different kind of song if you're gonna sing a solo.
Is she making an excuse? Okay, we're trying to create a new tradition here. Okay,
Singing Joy to the
so
World, the Lord has come. So yes, that's playing. We gonna have the music playing in the background.
oh my
Okay, do
god,
you see how we just have fun and joy? Get around the people
yeah,
that make you laugh, that make you smile, and they're going to help you to create the
they
memories.
really are.
And
So
so just look back at this. If you just want to
yeah,
laugh and smile on Christmas, we just want to say we're so happy to have you. Thank you to Alternative Wealth Partners, Kelly Wingate. Thank you to Dr. Marina McLean with Mega Women International. And thank you to Cheryl Smith at Texas Metro. They are our sponsors who are joyous to us and joyous
yes.
for us.
Hmm.
And we want to end on, look, should I give her the last word?
You know it's gonna be two.
The last 200 words I'm going to give to her.
Well, you know what? Jesus is the reason for the season.
Yes.
Let's not lose sight of that. Let's make certain that we are just intentionally in our hearts choosing joy this year,
Yes.
choosing to make good memories in all that we do. We have to remember that we're called to be the light of the world. And as your light shines, this is the season where you can lift others. So be vibrant, woman, and we'll
Yes.
see you next time.
Yes. And if your light is not shining, we can help you to get that. So go to our website, vibrantwomanhood.com. We have the resources. Go to the resource page, join our Facebook group, and please subscribe, like, and share. And we want to hear your comments.
Yeah.
So
Put in the comments like the things
Yes.
that you do
Yeah.
for the holidays. We'd
Yeah.
love to hear it. Okay,
Yes.
so share that with us so that we have some new traditions that we possibly ourselves
Absolutely.
can take on.
We want to
with your
learn from
help.
you.
Absolutely.
Living vibrantly and have a very, very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.